I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Players in one of the ugliest Hollywood disputes in recent memory faced off in a New York City courtroom today.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence.
This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning.
Where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the evidence points to that. Ryan demanded that Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer lie to the public. So they gave them the opportunity, basically put a gun to their head and said, this is a statement that we want you to read.
Candace Owens isn't holding back. She's blasting Hollywood elites yet again. And this time her crosshairs are locked squarely on Blake Lively. Some folks are calling it a vicious witch hunt. Others see it as Owens unveiling a much-needed reckoning for so-called untouchable celebrities. Whichever side you're on, make no mistake, Candace has declared war on Blake's latest lawsuit, demanding that the actress face real consequences. Yes, she's talking jail time. And in a twist no one saw coming, Justin Baldoni is tangled, up in the middle of it, fueling a scandal that grows more volatile by the day. You might be wondering why Candace Owens even bothered to wade into this mess. Word on the street is that Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Something about behind-the-scenes deals gone sour, broken promises, maybe even a string of manipulative tactics allegedly used to undermine certain projects. Sources claim it's not just a trivial disagreement, but a full-blown legal battle with piles of paperwork, sworn statements, and possibly damning revelations. At first, this looked like any other Hollywood squabble. Two big names tussling over money, credit, or clashing egos. But everything changed when Candace Owens started poking around. She smelled something rotten, or so she says, and decided to dedicate an entire episode of her podcast to picking apart every rumor, every leaked snippet of court documents, every whispered conversation. It was the shot heard round the internet. Candace Owens basically telling the world, these Hollyweirds deserve prison time if they're guilty.
Deadpool after party, Ryan went and found a William Morris Endeavor and told that executive that they were working with a sexual predator, referring to Justin Baldoni. So we find out that when she starts getting bad press, and this is a perfect time for Ryan to manipulate her, in my opinion, I'm gonna draft a statement that Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer have to read to save Blake's reputation here.
And she wasn't just ranting in theory, she singled out Blake Lively as a prime example. Talk about explosive. Fans who'd been following the legal scuffle casually were suddenly whipped into a frenzy. A-listers rarely get called out in such a raw, confrontational way, especially by a figure like Candace Owens, who thrives on being polarizing. Almost overnight, social media erupted. Half the world wanted to know if Candace had real evidence or if she was just stirring the pot for attention. The other half demanded to see Blake Lively's response. Did she have the receipts to prove she wasn't in the wrong? Or was there something truly sinister brewing behind that polished smile? And if you think that was intense, just wait. Because Candace's initial remarks were tame compared to what came next. In the days following her bombshell podcast, Candace Owens unleashed a relentless campaign. She didn't just stop at calling out Blake's alleged duplicity in the lawsuit against Justin Baldoni.
Baldoni is going on the offensive. He just launched a website containing 168 pages of documents and texts.
She went on social media, posted threads, shared clips, and teased more evidence that would supposedly blow the case wide open. What exactly is she hinting at? No one's entirely sure. Some claim she's got behind-the-scenes footage, others whisper about suspicious messages that paint Blake in a less than angelic light. One thing is certain, Candace is convinced Blake Lively is no innocent bystander. She insists Blake's entire public persona, a smiling, lovable star known for her roles in feel-good movies and her high-profile marriage, stands on shaky ground. Behind the scenes, Candace suggests, is a sharp, cunning operator who's not afraid to step on people to get her way. Now, whether you believe this depends on how you view Candace's credibility, but the fact remains that her words carry serious weight. Millions of followers hang on her every statement, and when she says she wants to see these weird folks behind bars, you can bet the world listens. Critics immediately slammed Owens for diving into conspiracy territory. They argued she was building a case on flimsy rumors and half-baked claims. But Candace fired back, doubling down on her assertion that the so-called Hollywood elites get away with too much. She basically asked, if any normal person pulled these stunts, wouldn't they be rotting in a cell by now? That line struck a nerve. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Blake's lawsuit. It was about the deep-rooted belief that celebrities skirt the law, that money and fame can buy their way out of trouble. And Candace Owens was pointing a very sharp finger at Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, implying they might be prime examples of this phenomenon. So what exactly is going on between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni that has everyone riled up? Leaked documents suggest they'd been working on a joint project. Some claim it was a film. Others say it was a new streaming series that fell apart under suspicious circumstances. The narrative swirling through gossip sites is that Blake accused Justin of reneging on vital agreements. Maybe it had to do with creative control, maybe it had to do with royalties, or maybe something way more personal. The hush-hush nature of the legal filing only added to the intrigue. One rumor says Justin discovered certain financial discrepancies and confronted Blake about them. Another rumor flips the script, claiming Blake tried to shield her brand from a shady deal Justin orchestrated. No one outside their legal team seems to have a definitive answer, and that's what made Candace Owens' involvement so incendiary. If you believe her, she's got access to intel that could tip the scales, painting Blake as the real aggressor, or at least the mastermind behind some questionable moves. Naturally, fans are torn. Blake Lively's been a darling in Hollywood for years, rarely seen in the midst of drama. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni is known for his philanthropic efforts and social commentary, particularly around masculinity and positivity. To see these two locked in a lawsuit over alleged manipulations feels jarring, but that's Hollywood for you. Beneath the red carpets and charity galas, there's often a swirling undercurrent of power plays, rivalries, and hidden agendas. This begs the question, is one side completely innocent? Or is this a case of two major figures fighting for dominance, each with secrets they'd rather keep hidden? Candace Owens, of course, leans towards the latter. She's practically salivating over what she calls a monumental takedown that could expose how these celebrities truly operate behind the scenes. As rumors intensified, fans on social media erupted. Hashtags referencing Blake's lawsuit and Candace's accusations trended for days. One corner of the internet defended Blake with fervor, insisting this was a smear campaign orchestrated by Candace for her own clout. Another corner rallied behind Candace, calling her the only one brave enough to speak truth to power. Some bystanders even directed their anger at Justin Baldoni, blaming him for allowing this chaos to escalate. They wondered, if he really is the victim, why hasn't he come out publicly to clarify the situation or show any solid proof against Blake? Instead, Justin has remained mostly silent, fueling wild speculation that either he's preparing a massive legal counterstrike or there's more to this story than meets the eye. And here's the kicker, Candace Owens is loving every second of it. Each time the debate flares up, she gains more traction. She positions herself as the valiant crusader cutting through Hollywood's facade. "These people think they're untouchable," she exclaimed in one viral clip. "They're about to learn how wrong they are." It's the kind of fiery rhetoric that polarizes an audience in seconds flat. Supporters cheer, detractors scoff, and in the meantime, the rumor mill spins at warp speed. For weeks now, Candace Owens has teased the existence of something big, explosive evidence that will supposedly unmask Blake's manipulative tactics. She's mentioned sealed court documents, insider testimonies, and maybe even an audio recording that could rock this lawsuit to its core. Every time she drops a hint, the internet speculates for days. Is it a phone call between Blake and Justin? A behind-the-scenes meltdown caught on camera? Could it be financial records that contradict Blake's statements? Nobody outside Candace's circle has seen these so-called smoking guns, but that hasn't stopped her from riling up her audience. In one particularly fiery segment, she stated, "If the system doesn't step in and throw these people behind bars for this level of deception, then what good is the law at all?" That line alone sent shockwaves through Hollywood gossip outlets. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from a typical celebrity lawsuit to something resembling a vendetta. Owens wasn't just reporting, she was demanding accountability in a way that few public figures have done so openly. Naturally, critics accuse her of sensationalism. They say Candace is bluffing, that she doesn't have the goods, that she's just riding the wave of public outrage. But even if that's the case, she's successfully painted Blake as a cunning figure who might have skeletons rattling in her closet. And once a reputation gets tarnished in the public eye, especially with a fierce voice like Candace Owens behind the bullhorn, it can be almost impossible to salvage. Let's zoom in on Justin Baldoni for a moment because he's not exactly an innocent bystander. Rumors claim he saw serious red flags in Blake's contractual obligations. Maybe he discovered a pattern of shady deals. Others suggest he himself was playing both sides, trying to secure a better financial stake in their joint project at Blake's expense. Candace has made cryptic comments about Justin knowing more than he lets on, fueling theories that he's either waiting to release his own arsenal of evidence or possibly working with Candace behind the scenes to sink Blake's case. Why would Candace team up with him? Well, if she truly believes Hollywood's major players are all part of some grand scheme, maybe she sees Justin as a lesser evil, or even a key witness. Alternatively, she might be using Justin's name to further inflate the scandal. After all, the more high-profile figures involved, the bigger the splash. Justin, for his part, has refused to confirm or deny any alliance with Candace Owens. Some insiders say he's furious that this is becoming a political circus, claiming he never intended for the lawsuit to become front-page news. Yet he hasn't. Publicly denounced Candace's comments, which raises eyebrows. In situations like this, silence can be more telling than any press release. So, is Justin trying to keep his hands clean while letting Candace do the dirty work? It's an intriguing possibility that certain fans can't stop talking about. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's team continues to keep a tight lid on statements. Her publicist has only released brief remarks urging people not to believe unsubstantiated rumors. But as we all know, vague denials often fall on deaf ears in an age where speculation travels faster than facts. Candace Owens doesn't mince words when it comes to punishment. She wants these Hollyweirds to face prison time if they're guilty of whatever wrongdoing she's implying. She rages that celebrities shouldn't get a free pass just because they're adored by millions. According to Candace, the justice system needs to step up, teach them a lesson, and prove that fame doesn't equal immunity. But what would Blake Lively actually go to jail for? The rumors are all over the place. Some say fraud, some say breach of contract, others hint at deeper misconduct that hasn't been fully revealed. Without concrete evidence, it's hard to know if Candace's demands have any basis. Still, the spectacle of a major star potentially facing time behind bars is enough to keep the tabloids salivating. Legal experts, of course, roll their eyes at the notion that a contract dispute automatically equates to orange jumpsuits. Typically, these issues involve financial settlements, not criminal charges. But Candace Owens has repeatedly suggested there's more to this story, a layer of deception and possible law-breaking that could indeed trigger severe consequences. She's practically taunting Blake's legal team, daring them to come out and prove her wrong. So far, they haven't risen to the challenge. And therein lies the rub. If Candace Owens is bluffing, she's playing a high-stakes game. If she's not bluffing, then Blake might be in serious trouble. Either way, the public is hooked, waiting to see if this drama fizzles out or explodes into a full-blown scandal that lands someone in court for more than just a civil dispute. So, here we stand. Candace Owens has placed Blake Lively in her crosshairs, insisting that the beloved actress is neck-deep in shady behavior that deserves actual jail time. Justin Baldoni lurks in the shadows, potentially holding keys to the entire situation, or possibly hiding behind the chaos to dodge his own scrutiny. Hollywood watchers are on the edge of their seats, sipping the tea as new rumors and allegations drop almost daily. The internet is split between those who think Candace is a fearless truth-teller and those who believe she's orchestrating a baseless smear campaign. What happens next could reshape a few celebrity reputations, maybe even the entire culture surrounding Hollywood power plays. If Candace manages to produce real, verifiable proof that Blake engaged in unethical or illegal acts, it won't just be a black eye for the actress. It might trigger a domino effect, prompting other big-name figures to come forward with their own stories of manipulation at the hands of Tinseltown royalty. On the flip side, if nothing substantial emerges, Candace risks her own credibility, and the public will brand this saga as another sensationalized fiasco aimed at grabbing headlines. For now, the lawsuit marches on quietly, with legal teams trading motions and building their cases behind closed doors. But the real trial is happening in the court of public opinion, where Candace Owens has already made her opening statement loud and clear: "I want them behind bars." Whether that call ends in a judge's gavel or a humiliated retraction remains to be seen. In the meantime, the rest of us can only watch from the sidelines, bombarded by updates, leaks, and wild theories. Will Blake's squeaky clean image hold up under the glare of a scandal-hungry media? Will Justin step forward with revelations that either exonerate or incriminate him and Blake further? Or will Candace Owens drop a final hammer so devastating that it changes Hollywood's power dynamics overnight? Only time, and possibly a few more explosive episodes of Candace's podcast, will tell. But one thing's for sure, no matter how this ends, it's going to leave a mark on everyone involved. Candace's relentless quest to send a message to the celebrity elite shows no signs of slowing. And as she keeps reminding us, she believes this message should come in the form of prison bars. When all's said and done, we're left with a storm of allegations, rumors, and deeply personal grudges that have escalated into a borderline crusade. Candace Owens has thrown down the gauntlet, daring Hollywood to prove it isn't above the law. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's in the hot seat, possibly facing consequences far more severe than the usual fines or settlements. And Justin Baldoni, he's the wild card. He might be a victim, an accomplice, or just another name entangled in a twisted Hollywood saga that's about to blow sky high. Whether you see Candace's campaign as righteous fury or opportunistic mudslinging, one fact remains: she has the power to reshape how the public views Blake Lively's squeaky clean reputation. If her evidence holds water, we could witness a downfall so swift it'll make celebrity historians rewrite their chapters on Hollywood scandals. And if her evidence crumbles under scrutiny, this might be remembered as the moment Candace Owens bit off more than she could chew. Either way, the stage is set for a climactic showdown. Because in a world where stars rarely face the same punishments as the rest of us, Candace Owens is demanding that this time be different. She's stoking a fire that might just burn Hollywood's carefully polished facades to the ground. So, buckle up. The truth, or some version of it, is coming. And when the dust settles, either Blake Lively will walk away unscathed, or she'll find herself at the center of a downfall the likes of which we rarely see. And if Candace Owens has her way, the downfall could very well include a set of prison bars. Welcome to the next level of celebrity warfare. It's bigger than a lawsuit, louder than a tabloid headline, and possibly far more consequential than anyone ever imagined. One thing's for sure, once the final card is played, Hollywood might never look the same again. As the story continues to unfold, there's always more to discover. Thanks for tapping in now. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when more secrets come to light.